Welcome to your Life Handbook. In this video, we are going to talk about one of the most misunderstood tax traps for casino players and retirees: how gambling winnings can raise your Medicare premiums. Most people understand that gambling winnings can create income tax. But what many people do not realize is that a W-2G can also increase adjusted gross income. And Medicare uses income from your tax return to determine whether you pay higher Part B and Part D premiums. The surprising part is that even if you lost the money back, the Medicare premium calculation may still be affected. In plain English, a jackpot can follow you for 2 years. Here is the roadmap. First, we will explain the basic Medicare rule. Then we will explain why gambling winnings can be different from other income. Then we will walk through real examples using 2026 Medicare premium brackets. Finally, we will talk about what you can do before year end and what to do if an IRMAA notice arrives. This is important for retirees, people approaching Medicare age, casino players, sports bettors, lottery winners, and anyone who receives W-2Gs. The most important concept in this video is that Medicare is not asking, "Did you have a good year at the casino?" Medicare is looking at your tax return. More specifically, it is looking at modified adjusted gross income, often called MAGI, and gambling winnings reported on Form W-2G are included in income. The confusing part is that gambling losses, for a recreational gambler, usually show up as an itemized deduction. That means the losses may reduce taxable income, but they generally do not reduce adjusted gross income. And IRMAA is based on MAGI, not taxable income. IRMAA stands for Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. It is an additional amount that higher-income Medicare beneficiaries pay for Part B, and also for Part D prescription drug coverage if they have Part D. For 2026, the standard Part B premium is $202.90 per month. But if your MAGI is above $109,000 as a single filer, or above $218,000 as a married couple filing jointly, you can start paying more. And the key timing rule is the 2-year lookback. For 2026 Medicare premiums, Social Security generally uses your 2024 tax return. So a big gambling year can affect you later, after the casino trip is long forgotten. Here is the simplest way to understand the issue. Gambling winnings are reported as income. That increases adjusted gross income. Medicare MAGI is generally AGI plus tax-exempt interest. That number is what goes into the IRMAA premium bracket. The problem is that a recreational gambler's losses usually do not reduce AGI. The losses are generally claimed on Schedule A as an itemized deduction, subject to the rules and limits. That can reduce taxable income, but it usually does not fix the Medicare premium calculation. A W-2G is not a profit and loss statement. It is an information return for certain gambling winnings. A person may receive multiple W-2Gs and still be down for the year. A person may also have gambling winnings that are not reported on W-2G but still have to be reported. For income tax purposes, losses may be deductible if you itemize and have proper records, subject to the rules. But for Medicare IRMAA, the key issue is that the gross winnings can increase AGI before those losses are considered. This slide shows the 2026 IRMAA brackets in simplified form. The first column is for single filers. The second is for married filing jointly. The Part B premium is the total monthly Part B premium. The Part D amount is added to the person's drug plan premium. The last column shows the extra amount per person compared with the standard Medicare premium, assuming the person has both Part B and Part D. For a married couple where both spouses are on Medicare, the impact can double. Here is a very realistic example. A married couple has $210,000 of Medicare MAGI before gambling winnings. For 2026 premiums, the first married filing jointly threshold is $218,000. Without the gambling income, they are below the line. Now suppose they have $25,000 of W-2Gs. Their MAGI becomes $235,000. That pushes them into the first IRMAA bracket. The key point is not whether they actually kept the $25,000, The key point is that the gross gambling winnings show up in income. Now let's translate that into dollars. In the first IRMAA bracket, the extra Part B amount is $81.20 per month. The extra Part D amount is $14.50 per month. Together, that is $95.70 per month per person. If both spouses are on Medicare and both are subject to the surcharge, that is $191.40 per month, or $2,296.80 for the year. And that is not the income tax. That is an additional Medicare premium cost caused by the income spike. Here is another example. A single Medicare recipient has $95,000 of Magi before gambling winnings. That is below the $109,000 first IRMAA threshold. Now they have $50,000 of W-2Gs. Their Magi goes to $145,000. For 2026, that lands in the bracket above $137,000 and up to $171,000. The Part B premium becomes $405.80 per month, and the Part D surcharge is $37.50 per month. Compared with the standard amount, the extra cost is $240.40 per month, or $2,884.80 for the year, assuming both Part B and Part D. Now let's look at a big jackpot year. A married couple has $200,000 of Magi before gambling. Then they have $175,000 of W-2Gs. That brings Magi to $375,000. For 2026, that falls in the joint bracket above $342,000 and up to $410,000. In that bracket, the extra amount per person, assuming both Part B and Part D, is $385 per month. If both spouses are on Medicare, that is $770 per month, or $9,240 for the year. This is why a big W-2G can be a lot more expensive than people expect. This is the line many gamblers say, but I lost it back. And for regular tax purposes, if you itemize and you have good records, losses may help reduce taxable income, subject to the rules and limits. But IRMAA uses Magi, not taxable income. That means a gambling loss deduction that shows up on Schedule A generally does not reduce the income number used for Medicare premiums. So someone can have no real profit from gambling, but still have a higher Medicare premium because of gross winnings. The timing is important. Medicare does not usually adjust your premium based on this year's income in real time. There is a delay. For example, a 2026 gambling year is reported on the 2026 tax return filed in 2027. That income can affect 2028 Medicare premiums. For 2026 premiums, Social Security generally uses the 2024 tax return. This delay is why people get surprised. They may not connect a premium increase with a casino year that happened 2 years earlier. Medicare Magi is generally adjusted gross income plus tax-exempt interest. That means many common retirement income items are already in the calculation. Wages, pensions, IRA distributions, taxable Social Security, interest, dividends, capital gains, and gambling winnings. Tax-exempt interest is then added back. The important part for this video is that Schedule A gambling losses generally do not reduce AGI. That is why the Medicare premium issue is different from the regular tax issue. The time to plan is before the end of the year. This does not mean hiding income or ignoring W-2Gs. It means understanding the full effect of income before it is too late. If you are near an IRMAA threshold, you may want to project your Magi before taking a Roth conversion, selling investments with large gains, taking extra IRA distributions, or making other income decisions. Gambling winnings may already push you over a threshold. Adding more controllable income on top can make the premium problem worse. Even though records may not eliminate the IRMAA effect, they still matter. You need records for tax reporting, for deducting allowable gambling losses if you itemize, and for supporting the position you take on the return. Keep W-2Gs, casino win/loss statements, ATM records, bank records, and a personal gambling log. Track the date, location, type of gambling, buy-ins, cash-outs, and the net result for each session. Do not wait until tax season and try to reconstruct everything from memory. If you receive an IRMAA notice, do not ignore it. First, check the tax year's Social Security used. Then verify the MAGI number. If the IRS data is wrong, or if an amended return changes the income number, you may need to contact Social Security. There are also life-changing events that may support a new decision, such as marriage, divorce, death of a spouse, stopping work, reducing work hours, loss of income producing property due to disaster, or certain pension or employer settlement events. But simply losing gambling winnings back is generally not on that list. That is why planning before the income hits the tax return matters so much. Here are the mistakes I see people make. First, they think if they had a net gambling loss, there is no Medicare impact. That is not necessarily true. Second, they assume the casino win/loss statement controls everything. It does not. Third, they forget that Part D can also have an IRMAA amount. Fourth, married couples forget that if both spouses are on Medicare, the surcharge can apply to both. And fifth, they focus only on the income tax bill and forget the Medicare premium bill. Here is a simple action plan. First, add up expected W-2Gs and any other gambling winnings. Second, estimate adjusted gross income and Medicare MAGI. Third, compare the result to the IRMAA thresholds. Fourth, review other controllable income before year-end, like IRA withdrawals, Roth conversions, or capital gains. Fifth, keep complete records and remember that the premium effect may show up 2 years later. The main message is simple. Run the numbers before the tax year closes. The bottom line is this. A W-2G can increase Medicare premiums even when the casino year feels like a loss. IRMAA uses MAGI, not taxable income. Gambling winnings raise AGI. Gambling losses usually do not reduce AGI. And because of the 2-year lookback, the Medicare cost can show up long after the gambling happened. This is why gamblers on Medicare or approaching Medicare need to think beyond the income tax return. What do you think? Should gambling winnings raise Medicare premiums if the player lost the money back? Leave a comment below, because I would like to hear how people feel about this. If this video helped you, please like it, subscribe to your life handbook, and share it with someone who gambles, receives W-2Gs, or is on Medicare. Thanks for watching. This video is for general educational purposes only. It is not personal tax advice, legal advice, Medicare advice, or investment advice. Always speak with your own tax professional or Medicare specialist about your specific situation.